Now in part one, we had completed our steering wheel modifications and there was a noticeable improvement as a result. But now we want to continue on with the linkage. What can we do with the linkage in order to enhance the steering ability even further? Here's a little bit closer look of what we're talking about. This is the pitman arm along with the steering rod that goes back to the steering gear, or the steering wheel shaft, you might say, and that gear that's attached there. But there's a problem here. The pitman arm, the length of it, and the distance from the frame, they're really, really close. There's not much distance there extra. So what we've got to do is we've got to compensate. We're going to have to go up and over the frame in order to give us that extra length that we're looking for. The red arrows show how it goes up and then over. The green arrow is pointing to a bolt. This bolt is temporary. It holds all the pieces together until it can be fitted and then spot welded and then removed and permanent weld. The blue arrow is pointing to the steering rod that runs from the steering gear all the way out to the pitman arm. It has to be reformed in order to clear the starter motor. Okay, so what we see here are the parts welded and reshaped. The steering rod had to be reshaped to go around the starter, and the pitman arm welded up and painted. They're ready to go on and be assembled. And there it is. You can see how it clears the frame. Now going back, I had to cut out this section here in order for the steering rod to clear. So that was a piece of sheet metal that had to be cut out of there. Now that the pitman arm has been lengthened here, you can see it goes up, and then the lengthening section is in here. Okay, and then my steering rod goes back to my steering gear. But now that that has been done, that causes less turning radius in the wheel. So in order to compensate for that, my relay arms down here on both sides will have to be lengthened out. This is the relay rod that ties the two wheels together. Now there's the add-on piece right there. Before any welding is done, I merely have a bolt going through holding it in place. Got the rod going. The other side's the same. Both sides will be welded, and then it should be pretty secure. That's 1/4-inch steel that I'm using here. That's actually thicker than what this is. This is just a tad over an 1/8 inch thick, so it's got some muscle to it. And so what we have is the extension on the relay rods on both sides. We're ready to just kind of test it out here. Everything seems to be functioning, so we're ready for a real test. Let's just try a little maneuverability here. Boy, that's easy. I wish I could describe it to you, but that is very much near power steering. It is so easy. Now let's put a load on it. and see how it does. Very little difference. It's a little tighter, but it is still very maneuverable. Just want to see if dragging something, having a weight behind, would make any difference in it. Extremely easy to steer. I would say that that was 100% successful. That is near power steering maneuverability. Now, I mentioned there was still something else that you could do to improve steering, and that has to do with tires. So take a look at this picture and notice the difference in the tires. The tire towards the right was a 6-inch tire on the tractor. It has much more surface contact, and it would drag a little bit. Of course, this was something I decided upon before I did all these other changes. Okay, I changed over to the narrower tire, went from a 6-inch to a 5-inch, and it has a rounded profile. There's less contact with the ground, and it is much more maneuverable, helped very much more. To summarize things a little bit, first I should mention this. This is a MTD built lawn tractor, riding mower. There are many brands that MTD builds. Troy built, Boland's, Cub Cadet. They building in the mid-2000s. I don't know currently what they're building, but in the mid-2000s. So these things are everywhere. Chances are you own an MTD built tractor for your lawn. So if you want to improve the steering, these things that you've seen in this video are going to be very helpful to you. In practice, they could also help enhance steering on Husqvarna built, even a John Deere that lacks power steering. So hopefully this has really been helpful to you. And you've got the 3 options: improving the steering wheel with the spinners, also changing the linkage, altering the length of the pitman arm and the relay rods, also the tires, making changes in the tires. So all of these combined will make a real big noticeable improvement in your steering. Thanks for watching. Please click on that subscribe button and the like button as well. Thank you so much.